robots are called Sentinels, the ultimate nemesis of superpowered heroes. Equipped with advanced simulation systems, Sentinels can instantly mimic the abilities of mutants during combat. They analyze their opponents in real time and counter them with brutal efficiency. Even Omega-level mutants like Iceman were no match. He unleashed his full power to freeze a Sentinel solid, but the robot immediately activated its internal energy systems, grabbed Iceman by the throat, and released intense heat, melting his body in seconds. One crushing step, and Iceman was gone. By the year 2025, mutants had become society's scapegoats. They were forced to wear devices that suppressed their powers and were thrown into camps, treated as slaves. What shocked them most was that the Sentinels, designed to eliminate mutants, had actually been developed with mutant assistance. Back in 1973, Professor Charles Xavier secretly kidnapped mutants for cruel experiments. From this research, the first Sentinel prototype was born, but the truth didn't stay hidden for long. Mystique, the shapeshifter, discovered the project. Unable to bear the suffering of her fellow mutants, she ignored their pleas and assassinated Professor Xavier. Her actions triggered panic in the Pentagon, which saw mutants as a growing threat. The government launched the Sentinel Initiative, capturing Mystique and unlocking the secrets of her DNA, specifically, her ability to replicate any mutant power. Over the next 50 years, countless Sentinels were produced, each more lethal than the last. Mutants were hunted relentlessly, their numbers dwindling. Even Professor X and Magneto had to join forces, leading the remaining mutants into hiding. Then came a glimmer of hope. Kitty Pryde's phasing ability revealed a new possibility. Professor X proposed a daring plan: use her powers to send someone's consciousness back 50 years to prevent Mystique's capture. Without her DNA, the Sentinels could never be created. It was a chance to rewrite history and save mutant kind. But Kitty warned that such a long-time jump was extremely dangerous. The Traveler's mind would be stretched across time, and no one had ever survived such a journey. That's when Wolverine stepped up.
What if someone's mind has a way of snapping back? What if someone can heal as fast as they're ripped apart?
Thanks to his healing factor, Professor X believed he might endure the strain. They sealed themselves in a chamber and began the mission. The others stood guard, buying time for Wolverine. Before the journey, Professor X gave him one final instruction: find and convince his younger self. It was their last hope. Kitty explained that during the time travel, Wolverine's consciousness would exist in both the past and present. Everything he did in the past would reshape the future. With that, Wolverine took on the burden of saving his kind. As the light engulfed him, his mind returned to his younger body before he had been infused with adamantium. He immediately headed to the X-Mansion to find Professor X and explain the plan to change the future. At first, the young Professor X thought Wolverine was delusional, but when Wolverine revealed a secret that only the professor knew, a secret he had never told anyone, he began to believe. Still, the three of them alone weren't enough to stop Mystique. They needed help, and that meant recruiting Magneto.